widdz here, and in today's video it's time to revisit the best PvE build when it comes to the Division 2. And the build have gotten even better than from last patch. And of course the build I'm talking about is a striker focused build. Striker did however get nerfed when it comes to the backpack, so risk management used to be 1% but now it's only 0.9, but it's still extremely good. But other than that, striker is unchanged. And on top of that, we did get some new additions in Title Update 22 that I will go through soon. But if you need a refreshment or are new to the game, we can look through striker really quick here. So 2-piece gives 15% weapon handling, which is accuracy, swap speed, reload speed, and stability. So not too bad. And then the 3-piece gives us 15% rate of fire, making it faster to get the stacks and just more burst. And then the 4-piece, of course, weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65, stacking up to 100 times. Worth to note, as I said before, the backpack will increase this to 0.9%. You also do lose 1 stack per second between 0 and 50 stacks. And if you get 50 to 100 stacks, you lose 2. And looking at the chest piece talent, 200 stacks. It's pretty good to use, but you can also use another chest piece talent, which I will go through soon. But if you are using the chest piece, then you will lose 3 stacks between 100 and 200. So that is how striker works. So we're gonna be using 4-piece striker here, and then there is an option between the striker chest piece, or you can use ideally a Seska with obliterate. This is just way easier to stack up depending on what content you do. A lot of times it's extremely hard to get 200 stacks on striker, so obliterate is just easier to play, way more uptime, especially since this is a crit focus build. So make sure you get critical hit chance to 50 to 60%. The reason you can stay at 50% is in case you're running with somebody that have chaotis, or if you choose to run it yourself, and then just put the rest into critical hit damage. But if you are doing like really tanky content, then I would definitely recommend to use the striker chest piece, but in most content I would just go with a Seska chest piece. So for most of you guys, this would be the best way to set it up. 4-piece striker, use the backpack, and then use a chest. You can use Seska for the crit chance, or you can use Grupo for crit hit damage, or if you don't have that, you could use Fenris for the 10% AR damage. The last slot is optional. You could use items such as Coyotes for that crit, or you could use Kafaris, which got buffed this patch as well, and then that will give you some damage and also some healing on the floor and removing status effects on Perch, right? Really good one. But with Title Update 22 we did get the Centurions Scabbard, which I think is the best DPS item in the game right now. So weapon damage, weapon handling, and critical hit chance. These are set rolls, so sadly we are losing critical hit damage with this, but the talent itself will definitely make up for it. So when you swap a gun, you will either get 20% rate of fire or 20% weapon damage. Or the second buff, which is 15% mag size and 50% reload speed. There is no cooldown between the buffs, so you can just swap all around, and it's up for 12 seconds. Yesterday I did make a video going more in depth in this one, so in this video I will just go through it pretty quick here. So you can see the buff right there. We got the black hair or no hair. That means you get damage and rate of fire. You swap to the showstopper or AA12. You have the white hair, and this is 50% mag size and 50% reload speed. This is currently bugged, so if you swap back to the gun, you can see 36 bullets. Then we swap back to it, 41 automatically reloaded. This will probably get sorted though, but as of right now it's bugged. If you, for example, want to have the damage buff and swap it around, you can just swap to the pistol and then back to the gun, and now you see you got the white hair, or no hair I mean, which means you have the damage buff. So easy way to just swap it around. And here you can see if you swap it really quick, I still have the 60% bullet, but also the damage and rate of fire. And if you want to be really optimal when you reload, you try to swap it like 55% into the reload, and that's super efficient. Otherwise, you're swapping gun. You can do it really quick, as you can see. So I don't think that's that much of a downside. And since we're using striker, we do get 15% rate of fire, and then also of course rate of fire from this, so that's a lot of burst. synergizes really nice with striker, so we can get more rate of fire. So you want to get some raid and Dark Zone exclusive items, but you don't have friends or a clan, or you don't want to wait in the queue to get carried by streamers, then Dwing got you covered. You can get items such as the Eagle Bearer, Regulus, Ouroboros, completely full builds, and much more. Dwing offers self-play, which means that you actually play on your account while you are getting carried. So basically the same as getting carried by anybody else. Dwing has been operating for many years and have a lot of client reviews and payment methods. Use the code widdz for a 15% off. When it comes to guns, I really do like the new exotic AR Strega that came with title update 22. If you don't know how it works, then we can check the talent right here. So unnerve. So killing an enemy will apply a mark on every enemy within 20 meters, which is a huge radius. And we can apply multiple marks to the same enemy, and the max stack is 5. And you deal 15% amp damage per marked enemy, which means if you have 5 marks on an enemy, that's 75% amp damage extra, which is just crazy. So the way you want to use this, we take this as an example, you just kill the low NPCs, like the reds here. You can see we're building stacks. So focus all the squishes, and then when you have someone really tanky, you kill that one last, because then you will have a lot of amplified damage, and you will kill him really fast. So I would definitely recommend to use the Strega. There is a lot of options when it comes to guns here. You could use the Eagle Bearer, which also did get buffed. This one will give you some more survivability because of tenacity. So with a headshot kill rate, you get tenacity buff for 15 seconds. And the strength of the tenacity increases by 1% or 5% for headshots, right? So literally just beam an enemy on the head. And when it dies, damn, that was fast rate of fire. You get the buff there. And then the buff will make you really tanky, because 40 to 80% of the damage taken is delayed until the buff expires. And if you manage to kill 3 NPCs during this 15-second window, which definitely is doable, then you will not take any damage at all that you took. And of course, if you're playing Eagle Bearer, maybe you want to have more than 6 red. For this build, you can play however you want, to be honest. I like to play your 6 red because the damage is just crazy. But you could definitely do like 4 blues and 2 red, or however you like it. So definitely Eagle Bearer, really good this patch. Elmo, it did get nerfed. However though, the M4 did get buffed. So the gun itself is still pretty damn good. And of course the talent giving you 100% shock ammo, right, gives you a lot of survivability. So you could definitely use the Elmo as well. And if you like to play SMG, I mean Ouroboros in combination with striker and the holster. I mean, if we look at the rate of fire here, $1,849, which is really high, right? So it still works pretty well with this one, even though it did get nerfed a bit, right? Like, that's super high rate of fire and definitely fun to play as well, even though it might not be the best. It does make a lot of sense to play with striker. Shooting fast, building stacks fast. So yeah, those are the guns I personally would recommend. So in case you don't know how to get these, Ouroboros you get from the Incursion. Eagle Bearer you get from the Dark Hours raid. Can also drop in Dark Zone, which I have gotten it there. And the Strega you get from the Season Pass being level 69, or you can just target loot ARs and it can't drop. I definitely would recommend the Season Pass. If you can't find any people for the raid, or you don't want to grind the Season Pass and you just want to get the exotic faster, you can check out today's video sponsor, Dwing. When it comes to the pistol, I would just recommend to run an Orbit with the perfect finisher. This one also drops in Dark Zone. So you kill a NPC or a skill with the pistol, and then you swap back to another weapon, and you will get 35 critical hit chance and 40 critical hit damage for 15 seconds. This might be a little bit annoying when you're using this holster though, but it's always nice to have on the side. For stacks, I like to use Rock and Roll for that extra 50 mag size, so you can just build the stacks really quick, but you could also use the Lefty if you want to. When it comes to specialization, PvE wise, I just always recommend Gunner. You can use whatever specialization you want though, but Gunner gives you 10% armor on kill, which is definitely helpful. And you also get a every third reload 50% faster, increasing that DPS. And of course, for striker, we get 5% rate of fire increase for 5 seconds on a kill, which just helps us get stacks even faster. So definitely would recommend to run Gunner, but you can run whatever you like. In terms of skills, especially if you're running 6 red, I would recommend Revive Hive just to get you like a extra life, extra chance. And then you can just run whatever you want because the skill won't be really that tanky. Decoy, Pulse, maybe even Shield. But if you're running more blues, I would definitely recommend to run this with Shield. But I think that covers the build. So the best PV build in 2024 have gotten even better. So hopefully you guys enjoy this build. Nothing too crazy, but I mean, it did get better because of the holster, which is really fun to use. So please let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this build and what builds do you want to see next. But with that said, I see you guys on my stream at twitch.tv/widdz or in the next YouTube video.